cool day in Thailand, I sat down in a restaurant and had this amazing beef stew. So today, inspired by that stew and the cold weather here, I've decided to replicate that dish. In this recipe, I will be using oxtail as my protein, along with the various spices and ingredients to make it a delicious recipe. I will be using some Thai flavors and some Western cooking techniques. Let's start with the ingredients. I have fresh peppercorns, about 1/4 teaspoon, some salt, if that will be required, some Sichuan peppercorns, a teaspoon of coriander seeds, some garlic, some ginger, you can also use galangal, some bay leaves, some cinnamon, 1 star anise and a spoon of sugar, 1 kilogram of oxtail, some chicken stock, a little bit of cornstarch or flour, 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, a teaspoon of Maggi seasoning, a tablespoon and a half of oyster sauce, and a tablespoon of dark soy sauce. Today I will also be using a gift that I received to make this dish and cook this wonderful oxtail in. So let's begin with the preparation of the vegetables. The vegetables I'll be using. I'm using celery, some daikon, onions, leeks, and carrot. I think these will be a great accompaniment to this particular dish, and I'm going to show you how to prepare these vegetables. When in Japan, a chef showed us how to prepare daikon. So as you can see, the edges have been rounded and are not at a sharp angle. So for a better understanding, this technique simply removes the cornered or sharp edge of the sliced daikon to give it a more beveled appearance, promoting cooking as the edges tend to cook before the center. This will yield a better product and look a lot more appealing. That's what the vegetables look like. Now I've cut the celery very small because that's really about the flavor. And then the carrots and the onions and especially the daikon I've left big, as well as the leeks. Next step is to sear the oxtail and get a lovely brown color on it. And this is where we will use the cornstarch to give it a light dusting or all-purpose flour. Let's get the oxtail right in here. Next, we will add a little bit something to make it a little easier. Give it a light dusting. And get your pan hot, and let's give it a nice soft pair of tongs. Add some oil to the pan. Make sure it's nice and hot. You see it's smoking. It's important not to overcrowd the pan when searing any meats. Flip them over. At this stage, we will add in our vegetables, except the daikon. And if your pan has got no burnt bits of meat, you can go ahead and saute your vegetables in there. If not, you will have to rinse out your pan. So we'll start off by adding the carrots. Next, we add in the leeks, now the celery. And now the onions. And we get a little bit of color on those vegetables, just a slight bit. And while this slowly cooks, I'll add in a little bit of garlic and ginger, and I'll start working on it right now. Use a spoon or your knife, take off that skin. If you wash the ginger thoroughly, which I have, you can also just use the skin. Take off a few slices. We'll give it that nice flavor to the broth. And with the garlic, I'm just gonna give it a smash. Let that saute for about a minute, and we'll take it off the heat and keep the vegetables aside. There you have it. Keep that aside, and let's work with our pressure cooker. With our oxtail beautifully browned, we are ready to put it into the pressure cooker to allow it to soften. waste that. Some chicken stock. You can use beef stock as well. If you can get an unsalted version or make your own at home, I would recommend it, as you know, the oyster sauce and the soy sauce contains enough salt already. So here goes. That's about 500 ml. In addition to this, I will add in another 200 ml of plain water. The lid on. I'm going to put it on pressure cook. And I think I'm going to do this for 40 minutes. See you in 40 minutes. As I said, view the instructions. You can also release the pressure by pressing that down. But I'm going to start off with this. And you can hear the pressure is almost completed releasing. So let's open it carefully. So there you have the oxtail. Now a lot of the fat has rendered into that liquid. So now we'll just remove the oxtail. I think that's about where I like it, because it's going to cook again for another 45 minutes with all the ingredients, and by that time it will be nice and soft. An excellent tool for removing fat or foam from the surface. Look at that. Okay, we're going to put this on saute mode. And we'll keep it on high and we'll press start. So here we have our oxtail that's been in the pressure cooker, and now we're going to actually begin making the dish. After removing the fat from the oxtail, we still remain with that beautiful stock, now flavored with that rich oxtail. So let's add in the rest of the ingredients. Bay leaves, cinnamon, coriander seeds, Sichuan pepper corns, fresh peppercorns, regular soy sauce, Maggi seasoning. Now this is like a very savory type of soy sauce, which often lends a beautiful flavor to this type of dish. Our oyster sauce. Lastly, the dark soy. About a further 20 minutes of cooking in this broth. I'm going to remove the oxtail and strain the liquid and finish it off with the vegetables. Now, with the Thai method of cooking, everything is put into a spice bag in terms of the spices and the meat, all put into one pot, and it is cooked and served, and it still tastes wonderful. Okay, so let's put a lid on it and we'll check it in 20 minutes. It's just been 20 minutes since our oxtail has been cooking with the soy sauce and all the other ingredients. Now you can see that the oxtail still has some bite to it. At this stage, I'm going to add 2 ingredients, 1 piece of star anise. I have a total of 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, but I'm just using about 1 teaspoon here. So let's add this in. And let that cook for 15 minutes. Let's give it 15 minutes. I want the oxtail nice and tender, but I still want it to remain intact on the bone. I will be straining out the spices from the braising liquid of the oxtail and completing the dish with the vegetables. So I've strained the sauce. I've taken the oxtail out and strained the sauce. If you have cheesecloth, go ahead and use a cheesecloth, make a spice bag and tie it on a string, put it in the pot, and you can retract it. Just keep it safe away from the burner so that accidents don't happen. And this is what was in the pot that was strained. Now I've left the bay leaf, cinnamon, and I still want a little bit of that star anise flavor. Star anise, you only need to use 1 because it's a pretty strong flavor. Now we can go ahead and add in these wonderful vegetables. Put the daikon in there too. This will be the last and final stage of the cooking, and I'm going to set this on saute mode for 15 minutes on high. What I want to do is submerge the daikon in the sauce. So that they cook. Time to serve. And to top it off, a nice good spoon of that rich goodness. I hope you like it. Let's take a closer look. Beautiful daikons, soft carrots, onions, cinnamon, star anise, Sichuan peppercorns, garlic, ginger, and so much more. Worth the effort. Made for you right here.
Like it if you like
on
it,
the G's
subscribe
Kitchen.
and hit the bell icon
Thanks
for
for
more
watching.
videos like this.